Hey guys, Technical Show with a video for you guys. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to transfer your data from an iPhone to an Android phone using two different methods here. Two of the most popular methods when it comes to moving your data over if you're switching from iPhone to an Android phone. Here I have the Samsung Galaxy S22, of which I'm going to move the data to an iPhone 14 Pro here on my hand as well. So this process is pretty simple, and things have gotten easier transferring data, so we'll show you how to do that. So first thing is, if you're making the data transfer, you want to have a couple things making sure that they're good. First thing is charge on both of your devices. So as you can see here, I want to make sure the charge is good, at least halfway or more. Here I have about 45 on this one, and then this one I have about more than 50%. Usually I recommend somewhere around halfway mark or more, and if you can plug in your device at the time, that might be even better, because the data transfer sometimes can take time depending on how much data you're moving. The next thing, you also want to make sure that both phones for the first method are connected to good strong Wi-Fi, because you want to make sure that data transfer can happen and they're on the same network. And of course, the next thing you want to also check is making sure that your phone have enough storage. So if you're going from iPhone that has about 128 gig or 256 gig, make sure the device you're on Android also has at least the same, if not more, because you don't want the process to fail because you don't have enough storage available on your Android device. So that's important. So Wi-Fi, charge, and enough storage. So once you know you have those, you're ready to do the transfer. So when it comes to transferring data from iPhone to Android, first thing you want to do is, on your iPhone, go into your settings here, and once you go into your settings, you're going to want to go ahead and click on, make sure you're signed into your iCloud, which is going to be the first method here. The other method we'll show later on, you don't really need your iCloud account. So this way, it's probably one of the better ways to do it with using your iCloud. But you know, go ahead and make sure you're signed in. If you're not, make sure you're signed in. And then what we'll click on here is our iCloud account info, just like that. And once we do that, what we'll need to see is that we have a backup of the things that we want to back up. So here, if you do apps using iCloud, you're going to show all, and you're going to take a note of apps that are using the backup here, and you're going to make sure things like contact are selected here. Things like photo is on as well, iCloud Drive, and all of that. If it's not on, it won't be saving those things to your iCloud, which you won't be able to get it on the Android device. And there's some apps you may not want, for example, like Game Center or fitness or something like that. You can turn it off. Maybe you don't want books, all personal, and then there's something apps like that are available here as well. So keep in mind, you're going to check out what you want or you don't. And after that, the next thing you want to do is go ahead and go back over here, and this time for Find My, you want to go ahead and turn off Find My. The reason why you want to turn off Find My is because you don't want it to interfere with your data transfer. And it's a temporary thing. You can always come back and turn it back on, but I'm going to turn it off for this phone that I'm going to be looking to move things over. And it's just going to turn it off just like that, disabled, which is good. You're going to make sure you get that turned off email here. And now we're going to go back to iCloud again. And once we do that, we're going to do iCloud backup. And what we're going to want to do is go ahead and do a backup. And again, here, depending on how much things are being backed up, this could take a few minutes to maybe even 20-30 minutes. So make sure you give this enough time to do a backup at the time, because you want the latest backup of all of your data here. So we're going to wait for this backup to finish, and then we're going to go back and do the next step after this finishes. So, alrighty guys, so we're back here. So it took me about 5 minutes for the backup to happen, but remember, it could take you longer, so be patient with it. If you have a lot of data, it generally takes longer. So what we'll do here now is grab our Android phone here, go ahead and open it up, and this time in the Android phone, you're going to open up the menu here, go find settings here, and then in the settings here, you're going to want to go down and look for something called accounts or something of that nature. So if you go here, I'll show you. Accounts and backup is something on the latest version of the Android is. So we're going to click on that. And once you click on that, well, you'll see here a bunch of options here around bringing data. Now there's a new built-in tool called Smart Switch on this Samsung phone here that I have that allows you to bring data from an old device. So all I do is click on that option, and you see there's something called, as I mentioned, Samsung Smart Switch on the Samsung phone here. So all I do here is allow this, And once I allow this, it kind of tells us, all the other things that it will have access to. I'll allow that as well. And then we want to do is receive data option here, receive data. And then the data we want to receive from, as I mentioned here, we want to get it from our iPhone or iPad. You can also do other Android, Galaxy, or Windows phone. So I'll do iPhone here. Now you have the option to do with the USB-C to USB-C or the adapter as well. Both ways work, but you can use iCloud data. So we're going to do the iCloud data option, and all I do is sign into my Apple ID. So I'm going to go ahead, sign into my Apple ID. So let me just go ahead and sign into that really quick. So give me a moment while I sign into my account here. And this, again, if you have two-factor on your iCloud, you're going to want to make sure that you can have the cloud as well when you're signing in. So give me a second. So here, as you can see, I'm just signing in here, sign into iCloud, and it's signing in. So I get a code here. Again, this code won't matter for you, so don't copy this code. All I'm doing is entering this two-factor code. Again, this changes all the time, so this is not any special code. It's just for my account. So as you can see, the verification is happening now. And here you go. So searching for data. So it's scanning here. You don't want to interrupt this process. And this is why we said it's important that your phone has good charge and a good Wi-Fi connection. So let that happen. And now we have the ability to get certain data from our iCloud. So you have things like contacts, right? Data from the apps. You can get photos or images. Now by default, it says about the last 30 days worth of thing, but you can click on selected, right? And you can select all. So if you want like all of them, I recommend for like videos, do like all instead of the last 30 days. So making sure that you get everything. This will generally take longer, but it's important because to get everything, you want to make sure you get all of it here by clicking on that icon, just like that. And all you're doing, so you can see all of this will come through, and apps data as well. You can see which apps it picked up. So it picked up these two apps here. So all I do is done here, and then when I'm ready to do that, all I do here is transfer, and downloading your data from iCloud will let you know when it's finished. So it means you enjoy your phone, so you can pretty much still use your phone while this is happening. Again, make sure during this process, stay on a Wi-Fi, and you can go back to the home screen. And generally what will happen is you can start seeing things come up as it is happening here. Like photos is probably the first thing you'll notice here. Your contact as well should show up, right? So you want to make sure that in your contact, so things like contact should show up for you. And then again, photos apps, you just have to kind of wait while the transfer is happening again. Alrighty guys, so we're back here, and the data transfer has been complete, and you can verify by going into like things like photos here. You can see here the photos are showing up here. Now it's slightly different from this phone to another because the way the date are organized, but all our photos and videos already came through. Contacts and such also are available now for us to kind of use. So that's how we do the transfer with the iCloud. So the other method to also transfer your data is using this app called CopyMyData, which you can find from the App Store on the iPhone and then the Google Play Store on your Android device. And this one, what usually happens is it gives you a code where it backs it up through the app on your Wi-Fi and then transfers it over, which will make a video because it's going to take a little bit different method here. But the first method is probably the most recommended method. So if you guys want to try the CopyMyData, just go ahead and try that or watch our next video on that. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If so, please make the like and subscribe button. See you guys next time.